My name is Emily Carter, and I never thought my worst enemy would come dressed as my best friend. I used to think betrayal only happened in movies, the kind where the wife storms in, catches her husband cheating, throws his stuff out the window. Not me. I was the sensible one. The loyal wife. The dependable friend. And Laura. Laura was like a sister. We'd laugh about other people's drama. We promised we'd never do that to each other. Then one day, I found out, the whole time I was defending her, she was sleeping with my husband. She ruined my marriage. She thought she'd ruined my life, too. But she forgot who she was messing with. I'm not the crying type. I'm the I'll ruin you back type. And this is how I did it. I met Laura in my sophomore year of college. We were both broke, both away from home for the first time. We bonded over instant noodles at midnight, bad dates, and the fact that neither of us really fit in. By senior year, people called us inseparable. We told each other everything, or so I thought. When I met Jake, my future husband, Laura was right there, helping me pick outfits for our dates, whispering jokes about whether he was husband material. She was my maid of honor at our wedding. She cried more than I did when I walked down the aisle. I thought, God, I'm so lucky. I have the perfect husband and the perfect best friend. And when I got pregnant, she was the first person I called, before my mom, before anyone. She screamed with joy. She said, "You're living the dream, girl." Yeah, my dream, my husband, my life. Laura was magnetic. You know those people who can talk anyone into anything. She'd talk the bouncer into letting us skip the line. She'd talk my professors into extensions. She even talked my parents into forgiving me when I messed up. She had that way about her, sweet on the surface, claws underneath. But I never saw the claws. Not until it was too late. Looking back, there were signs. They were everywhere, but I didn't want to see them. It started small. She'd come over and hang around our kitchen in my robe, saying, "Oh, hope you don't mind, I just love how cozy it is." She'd tease Jake, "Your husband is so patient, how do you train him?" Once, I found her giggling at something Jake texted her. She said it was a meme. I laughed, too. Because what else was I supposed to do? Accuse my best friend of flirting with my husband? No, I buried it. When my friends said, "Laura's a little too comfortable at your place," I said, "You don't know her like I do." When my mom said, "Are you sure she's really your friend?" I rolled my eyes. Because I trusted Laura. More than anyone. More than my own instincts. And that was my first mistake. It was a Thursday. I remember because my baby had a fever that wouldn't break. Jake said he'd stay home to help, but at the last minute, he got called into work. I was exhausted, rocking a screaming baby at 2 a.m., scrolling through social media to stay awake. That's when I saw it. A picture on Laura's private Instagram. I wasn't even supposed to see it, but another friend sent it to me, saying, "This looks weird, right?" It was them. Jake and Laura. At a bar, his hand on her thigh. A week ago. When he said he was working late. I felt sick. I didn't even confront him right away. I waited until he fell asleep. I opened his phone, he never changed his passcode. The messages were all there. Flirty, cute at first. Then explicit. Pictures. Hotel addresses. Dates and times, every time he told me he was working late. And the worst part? The way they talked about me. She'll never know. She's too busy being mom of the year. Don't feel guilty, babe, she's boring anyway. My heart didn't just break. It turned to ice. I shook him awake at 3 a.m. He denied it at first, the classic lies. She misunderstood, it's not what you think, and I showed him the screenshots. He started crying. He said, it's her. She came on to me. I didn't mean for it to happen. Like that made it better. Like it was an accident, he repeated for 6 months. And Laura? She blocked me everywhere. No apology. No explanation. Nothing. Just gone, like I never existed. I'd given her my shoulder to cry on for 10 years. She gave me nothing but silence. After I caught him, Jake tried to spin every lie in the book. He said, it didn't mean anything. He said, I was lonely, you were always busy with the baby. He said, she came on to me. She made me feel wanted. Like he was some poor lost puppy. Like he didn't text her first. Book hotel rooms first. Lie to my face, come home smelling like cheap perfume. He tried to twist it back on me. He actually had the nerve to say, maybe if you'd taken better care of yourself. I looked him dead in the eyes and said, you're blaming me for your affair with my best friend. He just stared at the floor. A coward. A man who didn't want to lose his cozy life, the wife who kept the house clean, the baby he'd half forgotten, the dinners on the table. I didn't scream. I didn't hit him. I just watched him squirm. Because in that moment, I knew he was weak. Laura was toxic. They both thought I'd break. And I decided right then, I wouldn't break. I'd break them instead. I wish I could say Laura was just a one-time mistake. But no, when the truth came out, the truth really came out. Turns out Laura was everyone's dirty little secret. One friend told me she'd always had a crush on Jake, even back in college. Another said Laura bragged she could steal any man she wanted. Apparently, she hooked up with my ex, the one I thought dumped me out of nowhere senior year. She told him I was cheating on him. I didn't even know that until now. The worst part? She wore my face like a mask. Sweet, loyal, supportive Laura, always there for you. Meanwhile, she'd worm her way in, dig for your secrets, wait for a chance to pounce. And I was her favorite project. I gave her a place to stay when her last boyfriend kicked her out. I loaned her money when she was between jobs. I trusted her with my house keys, my kid, my life. She used all of it. And when she was done, she threw me away like trash. After I found out, I thought the betrayal itself was the worst part. But it wasn't. It was the aftermath. The silence. Waking up every day pretending to hold it together for my baby. My friends didn't know what to say. Half of them ghosted me, they didn't want to pick sides. My parents told me, focus on your child, move on, be the bigger person. Be the bigger person. While Laura was out living her best life, bragging she'd upgraded from my husband to a rich new boyfriend. She wasn't sorry. Jake wasn't sorry either, he was just sorry he got caught. He begged me not to ruin him, not to tell his parents, not to file for divorce. I stayed calm. I told him I needed time. I needed to think. And every night, when he fell asleep next to me, I lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, and planning. First thing I did was play dumb. I told Jake I forgave him. I told him I understood. We'd work through it. He believed me, because he needed to. He kept talking, drunk apologies, stupid details he thought didn't matter. But they did. He told me when they met up. Where? How they booked the hotels. He told me Laura's new boyfriend's name, Mark. Rich, small business owner. New money, but enough for Laura to sink her claws into. I made a burner account. Friend requested Mark. Liked a few old posts, just enough to pop up on his radar. Then I dropped hints, casual at first. "Oh, you're dating Laura?" Small world. "Did you know she's still super close with her bestie's husband?" They were like family. So sweet, right? He laughed it off, at first. Meanwhile, I dug through everything. Old texts. Hotel receipts. Screenshots. Photos. Jake had sent her selfies from our bed. I saved them all. And one night, when Mark posted about taking Laura to a fancy dinner, the one where he planned to propose, by the way, I sent him the screenshots. No note. No threats. Just the truth. I didn't sleep that night. I lay awake, heart pounding, wondering if he'd believe her lies, or my proof. The next morning, Laura called me for the first time since she blocked me, screaming. Crying. Begging me to fix this. She said Mark dumped her at the restaurant, in front of everyone. She said I was evil. A homewrecker. Funny, right? I didn't answer. I just hung up. One piece of revenge served cold, and it tasted sweet. You'd think Laura would crawl into a hole after that. Nope. She went full victim mode, told everyone I was the toxic one. That I made it all up to ruin her new love story. She said Jake lied, that I was crazy, obsessed. I almost laughed, because this time, she didn't know how many people were listening. See, I didn't just send the truth to Mark. I sent it to two old friends, the ones Laura bragged to about her upgrades. One of them dropped it in our old college group chat, all the screenshots, hotel bills, timestamps. When Laura tried to lie her way out, they dragged her in real time. One friend posted, "Funny how the loyal bestie stole two boyfriends and a husband. Who's next? Her perfect image. Gone. Her new man. Gone. Her fallback plans. Gone. All she had left was the mask, and now everyone could see right through it." But I wasn't done yet. See, Laura still had her fancy job. She loved to brag about how her boss adored her, how she could get away with anything. Turns out, anything included sleeping with the boss during office hours, while he was married too. I didn't plan to ruin her work life, at first. But then she called my mother. Yes. She called my mother, crying that I was harassing her, bullying her, destroying her life. My mother, who watched me cry for weeks, told her to lose her number and hung up. But that was the last straw for me, so I sent an anonymous envelope to her HR department. Photos. Screenshots. Dates. The works. 2 weeks later, guess who lost her dream job for violating company conduct? Bye-bye fancy title. Bye-bye paycheck. Bye-bye boss who adored her. Now Laura had no man, no job, and no one left to cry to. Except maybe her own reflection, the only person she never fooled. Meanwhile, I was done playing house with Jake. I'd gathered every piece of dirt I needed. Messages, hotel receipts, Laura's calls, all of it. I walked into my lawyer's office with a smile. Did you know cheating can make a huge difference in court when it's undeniable? I kept the house. I kept custody. He got visitation, supervised. I got peace. Jake still tries to beg sometimes. Texting late at night, saying he misses the family. He doesn't miss us. He misses the version of me who kept quiet and cleaned up his mess. She doesn't exist anymore. People love to say revenge is ugly. That you should forgive, move on, be the bigger person. But they never say that to the ones who betray you. They never hold the knife while smiling in your face. I did. I still remember what it felt like to see my best friend, my sister, break my family for fun. I don't regret a single thing I did. Not one email. Not one message. Not one sleepless night planning her downfall. She made me feel worthless. She made me question if I was enough. She thought I'd stay quiet. She was wrong. And if she's listening, because I know she probably stalks my page sometimes, hey Laura, thanks for freeing me. You didn't break me. You built me. I hope every time you close your eyes, you remember whose life you thought you owned, and whose life you can never touch again. So, that's my story. I told it because maybe someone out there is where I was, sitting in the dark, wondering if it's all their fault. It's not. Trust me, if someone betrays you, it's not your shame to carry. It's theirs. And if you ever wonder if you should get even, maybe you should. Because sometimes karma needs a little push. If you've been betrayed, tell me your story in the comments. I read every single one. And who knows? Your story might be the next vengeance tale we share here. Don't forget to subscribe. Because betrayal has consequences, and here, we tell 'em all.